The Queen has culled the guest list for one of the key moments of her Platinum Jubilee celebrations. Only working members of the royal family are permitted to join her on the balcony at Buckingham Palace, meaning the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and Prince Andrew have been snubbed.
Viewers were shocked to see that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were relegated to the second row during the Queen's funeral.
Meghan Markle was asked to leave a place because people said she brought negative energy with her. Not gossip, not online hate. The people there actually felt it. And before you brush this off, listen closely, because this wasn't a one-off moment. According to those present, the atmosphere shifted the moment she arrived. Conversations slowed, the mood changed. People felt uncomfortable without knowing exactly why. This wasn't about politics or the press. It was about vibes. And stay right here, because the fifth example is so absurd and unexpected, it even shocked people who once defended her. Morocco red carpet exposed. On one of their royal tours to Morocco, a red carpet was laid out for the prince to walk on and inspect the guard of honor waiting for him. It was a formal moment, carefully planned, and meant for one person only. But Meghan saw it as another chance to grab the spotlight. She stepped forward, clearly expecting to be part of the moment. And that's when reality hit. The protocol didn't bend. The moment didn't shift. The universe, quite literally, said, "Not today." She planned to cling to Harry and slide right into the spotlight with him. That was the plan. But in the middle of it, a staff member stepped in and stopped her cold, quietly directing her to the side. This wasn't part of the script she had in mind. It wasn't what she expected, and it definitely wasn't what she wanted. She had a brief exchange with the staff member, clearly hoping the situation would change. It didn't. With no other option, she had to comply and walk along the side of the carpet instead. Her face stayed stiff, tight with frustration, as the moment slipped away. Some people later speculated she was told that red carpets are for royals only, or that she was barred for being a non-royal in that moment. No one confirmed it, but the message was clear enough. The spotlight was meant for Harry, and only Harry. And the uncomfortable truth is this: the only way he could fully have that moment was without Meghan stepping in, without the tension, without the attitude that kept pulling focus away. Grabbing a polo player's trophy box. After one of Prince Harry's polo wins in Florida, Meghan Markle was caught reaching for a teammate's trophy box as cameras flashed. The player politely pulled it back, and Meghan Markle awkwardly ducked under raised arms, just to stay in the shot.
A cool, really awkward encounter after she tried to join her husband and his polo teammates on stage after a match last week. Now, it's just so cringeworthy. I don't know why she's up there, for one.
Meghan Markle just can't help herself. Even when it's someone else's win, she has to force her way into the shot, reaching for things that aren't hers. It felt less like support and more like another attention grab by Meghan Markle. Inside Prince Charles's 70th birthday garden party. Shortly after their marriage, they were invited to Prince Charles's birthday celebration. It should have been a calm, respectful appearance. Instead, it didn't last long. After only a short time, they were quietly escorted out, and insiders say it was because of Meghan Markle. She appeared uncomfortable, disengaged, and completely out of place. Her behavior sent a clear message: she didn't want to be there. And in a room built on tradition and respect, that attitude didn't go unnoticed. Camilla reportedly overheard Meghan saying she just wanted to go back home. Not quietly, not discreetly. It was obvious she didn't want to be there. Camilla passed this along to Charles, and at that point, he made a decision. Why keep someone around who was bringing negative energy into the room? Rather than let the mood sink further, he chose duty over discomfort. The situation was handled quickly and politely, but firmly. They were escorted out of the party, and insiders say it was entirely because of Meghan's behavior. Just minutes later, he turned to Harry and said calmly, "Your car is waiting outside. It's time to leave." There was no argument, no scene. They exchanged quick greetings with a few guests and quietly walked out. Just like that, the night was over. What should have been a warm family moment ended early. What a pity. removed from Frogmore Cottage. When they stepped away from royal duties, they seemed relieved. Finally free, they thought. Free from rules, schedules, and constant responsibility. But what they didn't fully grasp was this. Freedom came with a price. The titles might linger, but the privileges didn't. The protection, the access, the special treatment, it all started to disappear. And that's when reality hit. Leaving the work also meant losing the benefits that came with being royal. When they finally left, the message wasn't subtle. They were told to vacate Frogmore Cottage and not return. This wasn't symbolic. This wasn't temporary. It was a pack your bags and go moment. For them, it marked a brutal turning point. The distance wasn't just emotional anymore. It was physical. The door was closing, and this time it was being shut from the inside. Whatever ties remained were being cut, and the signal was clear. We don't want you close to us anymore.
Overnight, a spokesperson for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle saying the couple is being kicked out of their Windsor home. Telling NBC News, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have been requested to vacate their residence at Frogmore Cottage.
Banned from the Buckingham Palace balcony. After stepping down as working royals, Meghan Markle was completely removed from future balcony appearances. And no, this wasn't a small detail. People like to call it symbolic. It wasn't. It was deliberate and public. The balcony is about visibility, relevance, and who actually matters in the royal system. By cutting her out, the palace sent a clear message to the world. She was no longer part of the image, no longer part of the story. And what made it even harsher, they didn't frame it as temporary. There was no maybe later. This was final. Overnight, Meghan went from guaranteed, front and center exposure to being completely erased from one of the most watched royal moments on the planet. No slow fade, no soft transition, just absence. For someone who built influence on visibility, that kind of silence wasn't just noticeable, it was devastating.
The Queen has culled the guest list for one of the key moments of her Platinum Jubilee celebrations. Only working members of the royal family are permitted to join her on the balcony at Buckingham Palace, meaning the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and Prince Andrew have been snubbed.
The Jubilee Cathedral seating change. During Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee, an event meant to honor 70 years of duty, loyalty, and dignity, something very telling happened. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry were quietly downgraded. No announcement, no drama, just silence and distance. There was no balcony appearance, no front row position, no senior royal treatment at all. In a celebration built on hierarchy, the message was impossible to miss. They were present, but clearly no longer central. Instead, they were seated away from the core royal family, clearly separated from Prince William and Catherine. The distance was visible, impossible to miss. And let's be clear, this wasn't a seating mix-up. This wasn't bad planning. It was intentional. The palace didn't need to say a word. The message was delivered silently, publicly, and with precision. If you're not a working royal, you don't get working royal privileges. It's that simple. Titles don't beat hierarchy. Cameras don't beat tradition. And for a couple that thrives on attention, this moment was brutal. Meghan arrived expecting relevance, access, and visibility. What she got instead was distance, silence, and a very public reminder of where she stood. She didn't leave with applause. She left with a lesson, one the royal system never forgets to teach.
But the Sussexes are now very much second-row royals, taking their seats away from senior family members.
The Queen's funeral seating arrangement. At Queen Elizabeth II's funeral, it was meant to be a moment of unity, a time for the family to stand together in shared grief. But Meghan was clearly sidelined. She was placed far from the senior royals, seated behind tall candles, partially blocked from view and visibly outside the inner circle. This wasn't about space. It wasn't about logistics. The separation was obvious. The message was clear, and no one inside that church believed it was accidental. Royal funerals are planned down to the inch. Nothing is random. Nothing is accidental. Every seat, every step, every camera angle is intentional. So while Meghan wasn't physically removed from the procession, she was strategically sidelined, placed where she couldn't disrupt the order, where she couldn't dominate the frame. And in royal terms, that's the polite version of being escorted out. No scene, no confrontation, just a quiet, unmistakable message. You're here, but you're not part of this.
Viewers were shocked to see that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were relegated to the second row during the Queen's funeral.
And it didn't stop there. Beyond being pushed into a secondary role, they were not invited to a major state event hosted by King Charles III, an event meant to welcome powerful guests from around the world. This wasn't an oversight, it was deliberate. They were reportedly told, very plainly, that events like this are for working royals only, not part-timers, not outsiders, and certainly not runaways. The message was blunt and unmistakable. If you walk away from the job, you don't get the stage.
Seated in the second row at Queen Elizabeth II's funeral, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were reportedly excluded from a state event held at Buckingham Palace. King Charles III hosted leaders from around the globe who had traveled to London to attend the funeral. While Harry and Meghan were reportedly initially invited, the palace later decided that only working royals should be in attendance.
Push the man away. In the whirlwind of her royal wedding, Meghan Markle's every move was under intense scrutiny. Yet right in the middle of the fairy tale, cracks were already showing. In a split-second image, a less-than-charming side of the new Duchess appeared as Meghan Markle stepped out, catching many off guard. As she stepped from the bridal car, a staff member reached out to help with her veil and gown. But instead of a grateful smile, Meghan Markle's response was swift and dismissive. She brushed the aide's hand away, and her face showed clear impatience. It painted a picture of a bride more focused on protecting her carefully crafted image than the moment itself. Instead of acknowledging simple courtesy, it clashed with the warmth expected of a royal bride and fueled the growing view of Meghan Markle as haughty and demanding. The moment was brief, but it stuck with the public, leaving a lasting impression of a woman people couldn't ignore, who, even on her wedding day, seemed unable to set aside her own importance to appreciate the people trying to help her. The clip was replayed again and again, marking one of the first moments many say Meghan's arrogance was caught on camera. It fueled the image of Meghan Markle as someone who, despite her new royal status, still carried the attitude of a Hollywood star used to being served and unwilling to bend to palace rules. This moment burned into public memory and became a turning point in Meghan Markle's public image, setting the tone for what followed, setting the stage for future controversies, and cementing Meghan Markle as one of the most divisive figures inside the royal family. Forced out of Buckingham Palace. This happened in March 2019, during the 50th anniversary of Charles becoming Prince of Wales. It wasn't a casual gathering, it was a historic milestone. Buckingham Palace was hosting a formal reception, filled with senior royals, high-ranking officials, and carefully selected guests. Every move mattered, every detail was watched. This was one of those nights where tradition ruled and behavior was everything. And in a room like that, anyone who didn't fit the moment stood out immediately. Before the main event even began, Queen Elizabeth II, Charles, and Prince William were scheduled to view the investiture items in a private room. This was a closed-door moment, quiet and strictly controlled. Only they and their spouses were permitted inside. No exceptions, no confusion. The rules were made very clear. Every other guest, no matter how important, was firmly instructed to wait in a separate room. This was about hierarchy, tradition, and knowing your place. And in a setting like this, crossing that line was not a small mistake. But Prince Harry and Meghan didn't follow that instruction. They didn't wait, they didn't hang back. Video footage shows them already standing near the entrance of the private room before the Queen even arrived. That matters. It meant they had moved ahead of everyone else, ignoring clear directions. In a palace where order is everything, that kind of move doesn't go unnoticed. And it doesn't go down well. At one point, Charles had to step in himself and say clearly, "No, senior royals only." It couldn't have been more direct. But even then, they didn't listen. They lingered. They stayed where they weren't supposed to be. That's when palace aides moved in. A security guard followed. The situation was handled quietly but firmly. They were guided away from the Queen and then escorted out of the room altogether. In a place where rules are absolute, it never should have gone that far. Rejected at a Michelin star restaurant. This incident comes from Michael Cecchi, a well-known maitre d' who has worked in several Michelin-starred restaurants. He's not a blogger. He's not a tabloid voice. He's someone who lived inside elite rooms for years. In his book, Your Table is Ready, Tales of a New York City Maitre d', he recalls exactly what happened at Luku in 2017. And according to him, this wasn't a misunderstanding. It was a moment that stood out so clearly that he still talks about it years later. According to him, Meghan Markle's handler immediately demanded a private table, claiming it was required because she was dating a prince. Not requested, demanded. Michael Cecchi explained calmly that no private table was available. The restaurant was full. End of story. But that wasn't accepted. The handler pushed back hard, reminding him again that the guest was dating Prince Harry, and added that she would soon be a duchess. The message was clear. Status was expected to override reality. Michael Chechi admitted his first instinct was to laugh. Not because it was funny, but because the demand felt completely out of touch. He said no one in the restaurant cared. Not him, not the staff, not even the guests sitting at the bar. Powerful people walked through those doors every single day, and this situation didn't impress anyone at all. Fame didn't matter there. Titles didn't matter there. And throughout the entire exchange, Meghan Markle reportedly stayed silent and distant, watching it all unfold without saying a word. He later described her as aloof and completely uninterested, detached from everyone around her. While her presence drew attention, it wasn't admiration. It was the wrong kind of attention. People noticed the tension, the attitude, the awkwardness. Meghan seemed to believe that name-dropping royalty would open doors and bend rules in her favor. Instead, it did the opposite. No special treatment, no power move, just a quiet, unmistakable moment of embarrassment. Reaction to the future queen. During Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee, Meghan Markle's reaction to Kate Middleton caught the eye of both the public and the media. Here's what happened. As the royal family gathered at St. Paul's Cathedral, all eyes locked on the interaction, or the clear lack of one, between Meghan Markle and Kate Middleton. The tension between the two women was obvious, and Meghan Markle's body language said it all as the royal family entered the cathedral. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry were seated apart from Kate Middleton and Prince William, as Kate and William made their entrance. Meghan Markle's reaction was watched closely. Instead of a smile or nod toward Kate Middleton, Meghan appeared to look away, her expression noticeably cold. The apparent snub didn't go unnoticed, with many reading it as a deliberate move by Meghan Markle. The strained relationship between Meghan Markle and Kate Middleton has been widely reported, with rumors of a fallout dating back years. This goes back to before Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's wedding. This public moment gave a rare look at the dynamic between the two women, and Meghan's reaction seemed to confirm that something wasn't right. While the rest of the royal family kept a united front for the cameras, Meghan Markle's demeanor suggested the tension was still very much alive, critics say. Critics were quick to pounce, accusing Meghan Markle of snubbing Kate Middleton and failing to put personal issues aside for the moment. The Jubilee was meant to honor Queen Elizabeth II's historic reign. Yet Meghan Markle's cold reaction pulled focus away from the celebration and straight back to royal drama, reinforcing the view of Meghan Markle as someone unwilling to follow royal expectations and pushing the divide between her and the rest of the royal family even deeper. 7 Polo match. It sparked heated debate. Meghan Markle's behavior at a charity polo match is one of those moments people still argue about. Many called her overly rude. The moment happened as Prince Harry's team won, with Meghan Markle stepping into the spotlight to present the trophy. What should have been a moment to celebrate the team's win and the charity quickly shifted once Meghan Markle's actions took over. The focus shifted to her as the team lined up for a photo, while a well-dressed woman, later identified as Dr. Sophie Chandoka, stood nearby. The charity chair stood beside Prince Harry, but Meghan Markle appeared unhappy. She's seen gesturing and speaking to Dr. Sophie Chandoka, prompting her to step away from Harry. This blatant power move, caught on camera, paints a very telling picture. Meghan in an unflattering light, showing a clear disregard for the hierarchy and the importance of the event, placing her hunger for the spotlight above the recognition owed to the charity chair, made worse by pushing Dr. Sophie Chandoka aside. She not only disrespected a key figure tied to the charity, but also undercut the spirit of the event itself. Some say it was just about getting the perfect photo, but it highlighted a clear gap between Meghan Markle's public persona and her actions. And it clashed with the grace and humility expected of royalty, proving that even small gestures can now carry big consequences, leaving a lasting mark on public opinion and fueling the ongoing debate over whether Meghan Markle was ever truly suited for the royal role she once held. Palace ordered removal. This kind of behavior from Meghan was unthinkable, especially given the setting. She wasn't there casually. She was attending in her official role as an arts patron at the National Theatre, a position meant to show respect and support. The event took place at the Dorfman Theatre, a serious cultural space with deep traditions. This wasn't a red carpet. This wasn't Hollywood. It was a professional environment, and that's exactly why the behavior stood out so sharply. According to accounts shared online, Queen Elizabeth II had requested to speak with Meghan beforehand. It was a clear request, an important one. But Meghan allegedly ignored it and went ahead with plans to attend the arts meeting anyway. And here's where things went wrong. The Queen had already canceled the meeting, so when Meghan arrived, expecting a role and an audience, she was stopped and informed of the truth. There would be no event, no meeting, no appearance. In that moment, the message couldn't have been clearer. There was nothing for her to do and no place for her there. Security then stepped in, and she was quietly escorted away, with instructions to return to Buckingham Palace instead. The situation was already awkward, but it didn't end there. What made it even more uncomfortable was how aware Meghan appeared of the cameras. She knew they were there, and people quickly noticed something else. She wasn't wearing her ring. That detail sparked immediate speculation. Many saw it as a deliberate signal, possibly aimed straight at Harry. If that interpretation is true, then this moment wasn't just embarrassing, it was calculated. And it was downright shocking. Ignoring a direct request from Queen Elizabeth II isn't a small slip-up. It doesn't matter whether you like Meghan or not. This wasn't just anyone calling, this was the monarch and Harry's grandmother. When the Queen calls, you go. No excuses, no detours. And once again, Meghan reportedly learned the hard way that in the royal world, there is one rule that never changes. You never outrank the Queen, ever. Fiji Market Tour. In footage from the Fiji Market Tour, Meghan Markle appears in a striking pink dress, moving through the busy crowd with an air of practiced, almost regal confidence. But in the middle of the smiles and waves, a tense moment breaks through. The camera catches it. Meghan Markle suddenly turns away from the crowd, and her face shifts fast. A clear grimace replacing the smile and warmth she'd just shown is quickly replaced by a flash of irritation. But what really caused it? Well, as you might expect, it was Meghan Markle being rude yet again. A slight twitch of the lips, a barely noticeable move that said plenty. That most would miss. Her lips curl into a sneer, and a sharp, hostile hiss appears to slip from Meghan Markle's mouth. It lasts only a second, a tiny crack in an otherwise polished scene, but the impact is impossible to ignore. That split-second hiss, barely visible, showed what critics call Meghan's true side, someone who doesn't want anyone standing in her way. Reports later claim the man was left in tears, making critics call Meghan Markle's behavior even more obnoxious. Nigeria incident. During Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's visit to Nigeria, Meghan was caught on camera in what many are calling a rude moment. The clip quickly sparked backlash and reignited questions about her public behavior. It all happened during a school visit in Nigeria. As Meghan and Harry met with local students and teachers, reports say a teacher was speaking to Meghan when the Duchess of Sussex allegedly reacted with a cold, dismissive attitude. Eyewitnesses later claimed that Meghan appeared bored and disconnected, even brushing off the teacher's attempt to speak with her. In the clip, Meghan is clearly seen turning away. While the teacher was still speaking, many read her body language as disrespectful, at best. The situation exploded even more after a short video clip went viral, where Meghan appears to say, "Don't talk to me," a moment many saw as proof she believes she's above everyone else. The moment spread fast across social media, with critics accusing Meghan of being fake and showing no real interest in the people around her. Royal biographer Angela Levin also weighed in, calling Meghan's behavior phony and awful. She said Meghan's interaction with the teacher and two girls was cold and rude, only deepening the negative view many already have of her character. The clip split opinions fast. Some rushed to defend Meghan, claiming it was taken out of context. Others say it's just another sign of arrogance. Either way, the debate rages as the public watches every move of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. But this is just one of many times Meghan Markle was caught acting rude on camera. Watch this video until the end, before it disappears. Now, let's move on. Meghan Markle excluded from Prince Charles's coronation. Meghan would have loved to be at the coronation of King Charles III. It would have been a massive global moment, wall-to-wall cameras, and instant relevance. The kind of spotlight she thrives on, but she wasn't there. No appearance, no entrance, no role at all, and in a ceremony built on visibility and rank, absence speaks louder than words. Reports say she was strongly advised not to attend because she was no longer part of the royal inner circle. In other words, her presence wasn't needed, even though she was technically family by marriage. Let that sink in. This was the coronation of King Charles III, her father-in-law. By tradition, by optics, by basic family duty, attending would have been the right move, but she didn't go. And in royal terms, that absence spoke volumes. It quietly confirmed what many already suspected. Marriage alone doesn't guarantee a place when you're out of the circle. There you have it, moment after moment where Meghan Markle was asked to step back, move aside, or quietly exit. Not rumors, not accidents, clear signals. Each one tells the same story in a different way. Now it's your turn. Which of these moments stood out to you the most and why? Drop it in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more moments like this broken down. See you in the next one.